tonic Leber-Enden reflex. This is very important and very interesting. Let's see what is happening in tonic Leber-Enden reflex. In tonic Leber-Enden reflex, we will see, suppose you are in tonic Leber-Enden reflex, so from the word itself we can understand it's a tonic, means it needs tonic contraction of the muscle. At the same time, Leber-Enden means Leber-Enden is present on the vestibular apparatus. So vestibular apparatus plays an important role out here. So let's see what is happening. If you laid in particular in animal, suppose this is a cat. Suppose this is a cat and you are laid the cat to lying on a surface in supine position at its back, so that the legs are facing upward. What will happen if you place a decerebrate animal? Must be a decerebrate animal, so there will be rigidity. Okay, so all of you know when you remove the cerebrum, we call it decerebration, and there will be rigidity on the legs. We call it decerebrate rigidity. So if you place a decerebrate, you should be a decerebrate animal. Animal after removing the cerebrum, decerebrate animal. If you keep the decerebrate animal on a plane surface on its back in supine position, you will see that the legs are extended because it's already extending in upward direction. All the limbs are extended in upward direction, and in case this is called tonic Leber-Enden reflex, and this is mediated by a vestibular apparatus. And if there is a vestibular lesion on a particular site, you will see flexion. You will see flexion. Suppose so this is a decerebrate animal. If you let a decerebrate animal to lie on a surface such that it is lying on his back, all the limbs will be extended and facing upward. Okay, this is called tonic Leber-Enden reflex. Now, if there is a vestibular apparatus lesion on a particular site, you will see flexion of the limbs of that particular site. Okay, so that is together known as tonic Leber-Enden reflex. This proves that tonic contraction of the muscles are important in maintaining the reflex. At the same time, Leber-Enden reflex, which is nothing but vestibular apparatus. Leber-Enden reflex means it is integrated at the level of vestibular apparatus. It also plays an important role in this reflex. So again, I am telling, if you let the decerebrate animal to lie on a surface, so on his back, all the legs will be extended upward direction, and in case there is a vestibular apparatus, the limbs of the side where there is vestibular lesion will show flexion. Okay, so this will be the two pictures showing the tonic Leber-Enden reflex. Okay, this proves that vestibular apparatus of the midbrain plays an important role in maintenance of these various type of reflexes. Next, we will jump to reflexes that are integrated at the level of spinal cord. Reflexes that are integrated at the level of spinal cord. So number one is, what are the reflexes that are integrated at the level of spinal cord? So what the reflex integrated at the level of spinal cord is the stretch reflex. So what is stretch reflex? Stretch reflex means, what is stretch reflex? Stretch reflex means, all of you know, stretch reflex is nothing but whenever there is a stretch of a muscle, it will stimulate the muscle spindle, and in response to the stimulation of muscle spindle, the extrafosal muscle fibers will be contract, and there will be increase in the tone of the muscle, and which helps in the muscle contraction. So in stretch reflex also is also a reflex which are integrated at the level of spinal cord and help in the maintenance of muscle tone and contraction of a group of muscle, antagonistic and agonist or antagonistic muscle, and help in maintenance of posture. Okay, so stretch reflex which is integrated at the level of spinal cord plays an important role in maintenance of posture. So this is very important. All of you know, muscle will always respond. To stimulate a muscle, stretch should be there, and because of stretch, interfosal muscle fibers, which are nothing but the muscle spindle, will be stimulated. Where muscle spindle is stimulated, there will be muscle tone will be generated, and muscle tone will be responsible for contraction of the muscle, and contraction of muscle will help in maintenance of certain posture of particular individual or animal in space. Okay, so this is the stretch reflex. Next one is cross extensor reflex. Cross extensor reflex. So what is cross extensor reflex? Cross means opposite side, extensor means extensor group of muscle. Means on the opposite side, extensor group of muscle will contract. Extensor muscles will contract. Whereas on the same side, the flexors group will be contracting. So suppose in a particular movement, cross extensor reflex is sustainable reflex. Suppose a person is doing some movement in those special type of movement, same side, in the particular side of the body, the flexion muscles will be contracting, and the opposite side, the extensor muscle will be contracting. Can you understand? Example is walking. When a person walk, when the particular person is moving, particular side of the body is moving, flexion muscles will be contracting, and in the opposite side, the extensor muscle will be contracting. So this type of movements help in rhythmic movements like walking. So this type of reflex is known as cross extensor reflex, and this is also responsible for maintenance of posture. Next important point is positive supporting reflex. What is positive supporting reflex? Next important reflex is positive What is positive supporting reflex? Suppose somehow if the toe of a particular individual or an animal touch a very supporting surface, it will try to extend the limbs of the particular limb. Extends the muscles of, it will try to extend the muscles of all the limbs. All the limbs muscles will be extended so as to get the support of the particular supporting surface. So this is called positive supporting surface, so as to put the weight of the particular individual or animal on the supporting surface. Can you understand? Suppose somehow a toe of a particular limb gets in contact with or touched by supporting surface. So all the muscles of the particular limb will be extended so as to place the limbs on the surface of the supporting surface, so as to transfer the body weight to the particular supporting surface. Okay, so that is to shift the weight of the body on the, or to get the support of the particular surface, and this is called positive supporting reflex. Now you will see that all the limbs and muscles touching the surface, muscles of the limb will undergo extension as if they are extended like a magnet. So it is also called as magnet reflex. Magnet reflex or magnetic reflex. So positive supporting reflex means somehow by any condition, if the toes of a particular limbs get in contact with the supporting surface, all the limbs will be extended and they will become in contact, and so as to all the limbs will be in contact with the surface, and the limbs will do that so as to transfer the body weight, so as to get the body weight, support of the body weight on the particular supporting surface. So this is called positive supporting reflex, and it is also called magnetic reflex because we will see that all the limbs are as if attracted to the particular supporting surface. So this is called magnetic reflex. Next is negative supporting reflex. What is negative supporting reflex? Even in spite of all extension of all the limbs, if the body cannot support the surface, cannot support the body weight, then ultimately the supporting reflex will fail. Can you understand? So we call it negative supporting reflex. In spite of extension of all the limbs, if the limbs cannot support the body on the particular surface area of the supporting surface, then we call all the supporting reflex will fail, and body weight has a chance of falling, and we call it negative supporting reflex. So what are the reflexes integrated at the level of spinal cord? These are stretch reflex. All of you know stretch reflex is the sensory generator of the muscle tone, and muscle tone is responsible for muscle contraction and which is must for posture. So that's why stretch reflex, which is integrated at the level of spinal cord, is must for maintenance of posture for all type of muscles. Can you understand? And cross extension reflex. Cross extension reflex means while doing a movement, if the extensor of opposite side will be contracted, if the flexion of the same opposite side of the same side will be contracting. In a particular side, if the flexion muscles are contracting, then opposite side extension muscle will be contracted. So this is called cross extension reflex. We will see in condition as in walking. And we have two other reflexes known as positive supporting reflex and negative supporting reflex. So these are together are the various reflexes which are integrated at the level of spinal cord. So we can see that all the structures, that is cerebral cortex, medulla, then spinal cord, then midbrain, all these structures play an important role in maintenance of the posture of a particular individual by helping the muscles to contract accordingly in response to the various stress receptors, or in response to the pressure receptors, or in response to the vestibular apparatus, or in response to the proprioceptors of the neck muscles. It will help in contraction of various muscles of various parts of the body and help in maintenance of particular posture in the particular individual or particular animal. Okay, so all these structures have their important role in maintenance of posture, but we cannot show them individually. That's why a series of experiments has been constructed so as to show the effect of all these structures on the maintenance of posture. So we can see that if there is a spinal cord lesion, posture may be affected. Can you understand? If there is midbrain lesion also, posture may be affected, and if there is a lesion in the cerebral cortex also, posture will be affected. Okay, so again you should not forget to summarize what is posture. Posture is nothing but is a specific attitude of a human body or an animal on space when the body is not moving. Okay, so when the individual or the object is not moving and it takes a specific attitude in the space, then we call it a posture. Okay, in my example we can give sitting posture, standing posture, and all those things. And you should not forget that various information like vestibular apparatus and visual informations, they are integrated at the level of cerebellum and various levels, and they help the contraction, relaxation of the group of muscles, and responsible for maintenance of posture of different types for various type of animals and human beings. Okay, so there we finish. So the concept of posture, and let me know how you like it. Then we will jump to another important topic known as equilibrium. So we have already finished muscle tone and we have already finished posture. Now we will focusing on equilibrium, which is a very small topic. So it is nothing, but you should know that posture and equilibrium. So today's topic is, this part we will try to finish equilibrium. So what is equilibrium? Equilibrium means is the maintenance of particular body from a state of fall or state of destabilization. So equilibrium means you have to somehow stabilize the position of a body in a particular space, in a particular posture. So equilibrium means you have to balance the body so as to prevent the fall or destabilization. So this is called equilibrium. Now you should know that posture and equilibrium is very much important. Posture is very much important. I told you how various group of muscles, they act together in maintenance of posture, and equilibrium is also very much important actually, because it will, when a person wants to do some work, a body should be fixed in a particular position, and so that the equilibrium is very much important. Now problem is that to maintain an equilibrium or state of stabilization of a particular individual or a particular animal, what should be there is that the center of gravity of the animal or the particular object should, and the center of Earth's center, which is the line of gravity, should pass to the base of the particular animal. Suppose for human beings, suppose this is the Earth and this is the human being. This is the hand. So this is the center of mass, center of gravity. And this is the center of Earth. If we join this line, it should passes to the, and this is the base of the body. So for stabilization or maintaining equilibrium, the center of gravity of particular individual should pass through, and the line joining the center of Earth Why center of earth? Because the force of gravity will work to the center of earth only. So that's why the line joining the center of gravity and the center of earth center should pass through the base of the body. Can you understand? But for human beings, more in quadrupeds, those animals with 4 limbs, they stand with 4 limbs, their base is bigger. So for them to find the center of gravity, and they are not, their height is also not tall. So for those animals where height is less and the broad base, for them to find the equilibrium is very much easy, because they have 4 surface and the center of gravity and the center of earth, they are passing to the broad base. That's why to maintain that, it is very easy for them. So maintain equilibrium in case of a quadruped animals, it is very easy. But for human beings, where animals, the human beings are tall object, and the base is very small. So for them, the center of gravity also lies in a particular height. It is above the base. So it is higher, in a higher altitude, or higher, it is a certain height from the base, and that's why for them any force or stimulus has a tendency to make the change in center of gravity, and once the center of gravity change, it will let the human beings or tall object to fall from that particular base. Can you understand? So that's why tall objects or tall animals like human beings, for them the center of gravity or higher position compared to the Earth's surface. So for them any external stimulus or external pressure may try to change the center of gravity, and they have a small base, so they have a tendency to lose the equilibrium. So higher animals like human beings, since the base is smaller and the center of gravity is higher, so they may lose the equilibrium very easily. So that's why equilibrium is a big question for animals like human beings who has higher center of gravity and small base. Okay, so for them, there should be contraction of a group of muscles. A group of muscles of the lower limbs and upper limbs will play very much important role in maintaining the equilibrium. Can you understand? So appropriate, suppose when a person try to fall, a group of muscle of the legs or hind limbs or forelimbs will contract, and ultimately it will prevent the fall from the equilibrium point or equilibrium position. Okay, so these are very much important. Now let's see how equilibrium. So question equilibrium was very much related. There are various structure of the CNS plays an important role in maintenance of equilibrium, and like posture, various structure of the brain are also plays important role in maintenance of posture. And you should know 3 important structure or plays important role in maintenance of equilibrium. What are those? Number 1 is vestibular apparatus. So vestibular apparatus is very much important, plays important role in maintenance of equilibrium. Vestibular apparatus, all of you know, it is present in the membranous labyrinth. So vestibular apparatus contain the gravity sensing receptors, or gravity sensors, and which plays important role in maintaining the equilibrium when the body tries to fall along the line of gravity. Suppose when an individual tries to deviate from the particular equilibrium position because of the action of gravity, then this will be sensed by vestibular apparatus, and antagonistic and agonist muscle will be contracted, and this will prevent the fall and prevent the destabilization from the equilibrium position. Can you understand? So vestibular apparatus, which contain the gravity sensing receptors, plays important role in balancing the human body or helping in equilibrium. Next important point is visual information. Visual information is very much important. Actually, eyes always see the position of the particular human being, position of the particular object or position of the animal compared to the environment. So it will compare the position of the particular individual with respect to the environment and give information. This is called visual information to the various parts of brain, and it will stimulate the cerebellum, and ultimately they will stimulate the corresponding muscle. Suppose if the animal is falling from some equilibrium point, the eyes can see that okay, the distance between the object and the ground is decreasing. So this will be sensed by the eye, and it will be given information to the brain, and brain will help in contraction of the various group of muscles, and ultimately what it helps, it will help in, because of the contraction, it will prevent the fall from the equilibrium point. Okay, so this is called visual information. So visual information or visual cue plays very much important role in maintenance of equilibrium, just like optical writing reflex. We have studied optical writing reflex in case of post maintenance of posture. Similarly, visual information or visual cue plays important role in fixing the position of the animal or human beings compared to space, and ultimately give information to the higher structure of brain, and ultimately help in the contraction of a group of muscles and prevent the fall from or destabilization from the equilibrium point. Next important structure is proprioceptors. Proprioceptors are very much important, as proprioceptor inputs proprioceptors are present in the joints, muscles, and all those things structure. So based on it will be when the person is falling or undergo destabilization from a particular equilibrium point, it will be sensed by joints and muscles, and it will be giving information to the cerebellum and higher function of the brain, higher structure of the brain, and they will analyze it. All the information will be analyzed, okay, and ultimately helps in stimulation of a particular group of muscles, and it will tell the position of the body in the space or when compared to the environment, and helps in equilibrium. Now all these sensations by the vestibular apparatus, by the visual information, and the proprioceptors like in joint, muscles, and all those structures, they will be integrated, and it will be carried to the level of cerebellum and vestibular nuclei of the brain, where they will be analyzed, and ultimately they will stimulate the group of muscles which are responsible for prevention of fall or destabilization from the equilibrium point. Can you understand? So all these group of muscles will play very much important role. All these structures will play an important role in management of or stimulation of a group of muscle contraction, and ultimately which helps in maintenance of equilibrium. Okay. So in various diseases, suppose in vestibular apparatus or erosion of the cerebellum, in gait disorder may be there, equilibrium may be hampered, or if there is person is blind, then vestibular apparatus plays an important role there, and proprioceptors also plays an important role. So these three important structures, vestibular apparatus, visual information, and proprioceptors are very much important, plays an important role along with the cerebellum as well as vestibular nuclei of the brain. These two together plays an important role in management of or maintenance of equilibrium in the human body. Okay, thank you very much.